I believe too that marriage, I say this to every married couple or newly couple when they get married. I said, marriage is a journey. It is not a destination. And a lot of times you get caught up in the marriage, meaning the wedding and the things, but that all go with it. But it's actually every day is your marriage. And you have to continue to date your spouse. It's very important that dating part does not stop when the ring is on your finger, when the time is done, or you've said your vows. It's just beginning.
Right.
And I've said that just to everybody that I can when they first get married.
Yeah. All right. I have this, y'all hear me out for a second. I was just kind of analyzing before you have children, if you're early married. So for those of you that have kids, do not have kids yet, but are married, there is this easy access to each other. Like you're not competing with, you have jobs, you have lives, you're busy. It's not that you don't have anything going on. I don't mean that, but it's different when you have little people that rely on you, right? So you're looking at like a low investment, but you can't help it, but you kind of take it for granted. It's not, no knocking it. It's just, you do kind of take for granted that you have that kind of unlimited outside of work, you have unlimited free time together. As your marriage progresses, as you add children, as you do that, you really have to look at the investment in that a little differently, right?
Absolutely.
The payoff is so worth it, right? So it's a high investment, but a high reward.
Welcome to the Well-Grounded Podcast. I am Diane.
And I am Leigh Ann.
And we are here with two special guests today. We have our husbands.
And that's Dan over there.
And we have asked them to join us today to have an episode about marriage and how God just cultivates that in our lives, and how Romans 8:28 just totally applies to that image of what marriage is.
That's right. That long game of watching God weave it together. Nothing's more evident than that in marriage, in good marriage. That's right.
Good
Not
marriage.
just any marriage. Good. I thought you were going to say it. Sorry.
Good marriage. We are so excited to be here today.
We have had a lot of fun. It's just, if you do not remember, the guys came on an episode in season 1. They came in and surprised us. They kind of took over the mics one day and they did their latte moment and everything. And then all of a sudden we kind of crashed their party and things. But we said, what better way to bring them back for an episode? And they've actually been quite requested.
People love y'all.
People really wanted to hear from you guys again. So we wanted to make
Y'all
the whole 2 seasons to come back.
It did.
Yeah,
It
we
did.
had to audition again.
Yes.
Which was
You still have the husband job.
yes.
It
that's
was
true.
just the
just
podcast
the
co-host.
That's right.
Yes,
Make that
yes,
clear.
Yes.
Yeah.
The husband thing is stable.
Okay.
You're solid on that. So.
Okay.
Definitely. And if you did not get to see that, you can always go back on our Spotify, on our Apple, or on YouTube and go back and look at that episode. It is in season 1. Maybe we'll even post that again to just let everybody know they might have a fun time
It's
listening
fun
to that.
to watch on YouTube because you kind of see them taking over the studio. But
I
we're
personally
here.
use Spotify to listen. It sounds
Thank
so
you.
good over the speakers in the car.
It does. It does. I am a Spotify.
I'm an Apple Podcast guy.
So we're covering.
And I'm a YouTube person,
We're
so we're
covering all
covering it
platforms.
all. Yes. And remember to like, subscribe, and share. And that way you can get those notifications when we come out. And there's a little thing, a little bell now on YouTube. And so if you like that or hit that, then you're going to be notified every time we come out, which is every other Monday. So this way you can definitely be a part of it when we get a new episode launches.
We do appreciate you guys so much. We just are so thankful you're here with us today. This is a fun conversation. You're about to jump in with us, with our husbands.
Yes.
And it just means so much as when you share and tell somebody else about the podcast and get that word out for us. And also just respond and comments when we do our fun social media posts.
We love to hear from our listeners.
Instagram.
Thank you.
Well-Grounded Podcast.
So before we get busy, we have to have our latte moment. That's one fun part about the show.
Fancy.
And today's
This one's fancy.
latte moment is really, I would say, much more of a dessert than a coffee. So if you are a coffee drinker, this might be like an evening drink versus the beginning of the drink. And it is a chocolate hazelnut cookie cold brew. It is a Starbucks copycat. And honestly, it's definitely a treat. So we'll be having the recipe in the show notes. You'll be able to make this at home, and I think you'll really enjoy it.
So good.
So good. But this is a requested topic.
Yes.
So not.
Oh yeah.
I mean this latte moment is incredible, you guys. I'm still like, if about 5 minutes from now, we're gonna get really fun because the sweet is kicking in here. But yeah, sugar us up before we do this episode. But we have had a lot of requests to have the guys back.
Yes, we have.
To talk about marriage. How you feeling? You feel up for this?
I didn't know it was requested. Did they request me more or Tim?
Well, I know Dan and I have really had some wonderful times being the celebrity husbands of our famous podcast wives.
Yeah.
So it's good to be back.
Yeah.
We are so glad. We're so glad. So before we jump in, do you have some just kind of a general direction we're going to go with this? We have some questions for these guys. We're kind of interviewing them.
Yeah, when we were putting together just the theme of Romans 8:28, where we talk about God's purpose in our lives and how when we are in the will of God, how we can live out that purpose. And so one of the greatest ways to do that is through our marriage. Mm-hmm. It's just amazing to see how both of us have been married for many years, have mostly adult children now. Yes. You have all 3 adult children. We're still with one.
Over.
Yes.
Crossed over.
And, it's truly remarkable to be able to sit and think about that and to just see how God has walked us through those seasons in our marriage. And I think we felt very compelled to just bring that to our audience, to just kind of share a little bit about how, marriage, there are seasons, and sometimes they're really fun seasons, and sometimes there could be challenging seasons. Kids can definitely create some of those in your marriage. Mm-hmm. And so we just really wanted to bring that to you guys today.
Yes. I was thinking, just in our own lives in the past week, like just to take a snapshot of a week.
Yeah.
We're literally like in the total love bubble.
Yeah.
And then a day and a half later, we're like, what are we going to do about this situation?
Yes.
It's like, how does this happen like so fast? But it's life, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so that's the thing. One of the things we just want to point out, and we're going to add some more of this into notes and things, but the God's design for marriage is to reflect Jesus's love for the church.
Yeah.
And so that we're all just walking out. Every married couple is walking out a picture of what God has for us. And part of that is our strengthening and our growth in that. But there are some just fun and practical things that we want to share today. So we're interviewing these guys to see, are we legit? We
did want to say we did give them the questions ahead of time because we didn't want them to feel that we were putting them on the spot. But I think it's so they have kind of cultivated a few of the answers. But so let's just dive in.
Yeah,
I think it's great. And one of the first questions that we wanted to kind of delve into is, what were you told, meaning Tim and Dan, what were you told about marriage before you were married? Like when you go way back, because, we've all been married quite a few years. What were those beginning things? Like how was marriage modeled to you and things?
And who was
that?
Yeah. Well, I know for me, it was the family members. I was a lot younger than my siblings, and so I have an older brother that got married. So, he was like 11 years older than me. So I had that, of course, my parents, and, grandparents. So I'd say, I guess it's just, I think the family sort of was the most influence on me on what I thought marriage is going to be like.
How did it rate?
Great.
Actual marriage. How did that turn out?
Real good. Real good. No, it's...
All right. How about you, Tim?
Well, and let's just say, for those that don't know, how many years have you been married?
31.
I know.
31.
I keep forgetting the little dangling one. Because we hit 30 last year.
It's our Baskin Robbins anniversary.
I love it.
Yeah. Dan is a natural at this.
You get each other ice cream. It's like you have the gold and the diamond or whatever, paper. It's the ice cream anniversary.
I would have to say that most of my friends' parents were my role models, and they all seemed to always have fun, enjoy each other's company. But I had always heard that the two most decisions that you can make is following Jesus Christ and who you're going to marry. And so for me, those are the two most important decisions that we could make. So kind of silly, when I thought of marriage also, I thought, hey, we don't need two stereos anymore. She had a stereo set, I had a stereo set, and now we only need one.
Assets.
And we only need one.
It's kind of like the Unity candle, but it's a stereo.
So anyways, it was kind of thinking like, if we do this together, we can save on the budget. So it was great.
That's actually genius.
And when I really think back to it, he was very interested in my stereo. So I think that's just really funny.
You didn't have a single stereo.
I'm sorry, I didn't bring a stereo into the marriage. I had a boombox.
We were mono with the stereo.
You had a very nice stereo.
I had.
But you were the guy.
That's pretty much all I spent money on in high school.
That's hilarious.
College.
Well, I will kind of ditto what Tim said is like, I do think it's those parents, those people that you saw. I know for my parents, they were married for 56 years. And so it's just, they did model that. I have much older siblings and then myself. And so I was kind of like an only child growing up. And so I kind of got my parents in a different way than my siblings did. Yeah. And so but we did a lot of things with their friends and different things. And so it was a lot of fun to just see that modeled out. So I would kind of ditto what Tim says.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Love it. Love it. All right. Next question. Are you ready?
Okay.
We're kind of doing a flashback to when the kids were little. We're going to kind of talk about like marriage through the years, and when the kids are younger, it really has a different accessibility to go on dates and to spend time together. What were your favorite date nights when the kids were little? Do you remember what we did? Do you remember back that far?
Yeah, I think a lot of
Dan, that was a long time ago, but
I know.
We just said that we have all adult kids, and now we're asking
the horse carriage.
little. Are y'all trying to make me cry?
the horse carriage.
The horse and carriage picked us up. Do you remember what we did on dates? Like, what was our
speakeasies?
No, come on.
Okay,
come on.
we went to the movies a lot, I think, and I think that was that was kind of our way of just kind of, when you have kids, it's very busy, and so it's a way to sort of what am I trying to say? You're the word person.
Get away without having to do a bunch of other stuff.
Decompress. Yes, that's the word.
That's good.
When you're in a good movie,
Yeah.
you really can get kind of, your brain can just kind of escape
Yeah.
from all the craziness that
I
you
think
might
so.
have.
I think it was also a hobby we liked before kids, like
was,
a
yeah.
lot. I remember when I was pregnant the first time, we went to movies every weekend. Like it was just like an easy activity, summer, hot and very pregnant. But yeah, so that was one of the things we did. And now what do you think is our primary date night that we go to now? Here's the answer written on this thing right here.
In case you don't
Where
remember.
do we go now? Where do we go now?
Now with grown kids. Oh, no, we like to go to Disney, honestly.
Yeah, we have annual passes.
I think it's just, that's the thing that we live near. And, like if you live near the Smoky Mountains, you go to I don't know, it's kind of like that's just around the corner, and you can go for a couple hours and just kind of be together, and kind of, it's a place you've been together a lot through the years, and then and with the kids, but now you're kind of remembering that, with them. So I think that is something we really like to do on dates now.
Yeah.
What is your date?
Well,
what's your go-to date?
Yeah, I would say early on, just getting out of the house was a date. So even if we went to Publix shopping, that was a date.
I love it.
That was a date because we were not with the kids,
Right.
and it gave us a time away from the house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed those.
I do want to say, though, that does not count as a date now because Tim has tried to do that.
I would count that.
Tim has tried to say, how about we do errands for a date? And I'm like, yeah, no, that doesn't work anymore.
Oh, man, Tim, I was on your side about
Going
that.
back to the stereo, saving money.
Yeah.
Nothing's really changed. It's just older kids. So
Yeah, so now we enjoy going out for a nice dinner, an experience for a couple of hours, maybe a stroll or a walk through a park or something to that.
holding hands.
Holding hands.
Yes.
Walking on the beach.
That's
Yes, I would agree.
light rain.
Caught in the rain. which happens to us a lot.
I know,
recently.
in Central Florida for sure. I would say for us too, when the kids were younger, sometimes we had to take advantage of date days because date nights didn't really happen. And so whether that was because of a sitter or because of schedules or just things that we had commitments, especially with our businesses, that sometimes those nights didn't happen. And so even when the kids started school, a lot of times we created like Mondays were our date day and we would do lunch together or things. And so that even became a great opportunity.
That's very smart. And being creative with it. When you're motivated to do something creative, it really does make a difference. And that's the thing. I think we preach this a lot, and we're just going to own that we talk a lot about dates. We are not trying to over dramatize what qualifies as a date. There's not it doesn't have to be flowers, a big thing that's planned. One of the things you're going to hear a theme come up with us is being intentional about something is about saving the time to be together more than about what's happening or how fancy it is or anything like that. Yeah. We had couch dates for years. It was we looked forward to everybody's tucked in. We would double team it, get all those kids tucked in. It sounds like we didn't want to be with our kids. Let me just say we are with them a lot. This focus is on marriage. We're not anti-kids, by the way. Yes. If you're listening, children.
Thinking back to who we looked up to with people that were married and love seeing what they had going on in their marriage, we were trying to do the same things for our kids. Hey, mom and dad are going out. Every Tuesday night is our night, or every Friday night. And it's our time. And we're having a blast. And hopefully you see that we love each other. Yeah. So there's
security
super,
for
super
kids
important.
in that. There's
100%.
security for them. And every family's different. And, we talked about this. My parents are at 57 years. Oh. And I told my mom that we were going to be recording this episode, and she gave me some little one-liners if we need them for later. The Lord has taught her about marriage, but we'll see if we have time for that. But one of the things that they talked about when it was their anniversary was I used to say, "We're not invited to your anniversary dinner." They're like, No, it's our anniversary. But some families did, like your parents had made that a family tradition, celebrating in August at their anniversary. They had like a trip or something that we were all invited to, which is a sweet thing to do. We're not being judgy about that, but it's more of just like how you sanction that off and make that like a sacred space that honors God. So,
well, and I believe too that marriage, I say this to every married couple or newly couple when they get married. I said, marriage is a journey. It is not a destination. And a lot of times you get caught up in the marriage, meaning the wedding and the things, but that all go with it. But it's actually every day is your marriage. And you have to continue to date your spouse. It's very important that dating part does not stop when the ring is on your finger, when the time is done, or you've said your vows. It's just beginning. Right. And I've said that just to everybody that I can when they first get married.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I have this, y'all hear me out for a second. I was just kind of analyzing before you have children, if you're early married. So for those of you that have kids, do not have kids yet, but are married, there is this easy access to each other. Like you're not competing with, you have jobs, you have lives, you're busy. It's not that you don't have anything going on. I don't mean that, but it's different when you have little people that rely on you, right? So you're looking at like a low investment, but you can't help it, but you kind of take it for granted. It's not no knocking it. It's just you do kind of take for granted that you have that kind of unlimited, outside of work, you have unlimited free time together. As your marriage progresses, as you add children, as you do that, you really have to look at the investment in that a little differently, right?
Absolutely.
The payoff is so worth it, right? So it's a high investment, but a high reward that comes from doing that. Yeah. And you may not see it right away. It is that long term. I love that analogy of the journey, because one of the things is until you get some perspective, until you've been a few years down the road, you just don't realize it. So yeah.
No, I love that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So good. All right.
Good insight.
Another question.
Yeah. Question 3 kind of delves into Let's see. What is something that you learned over the years that helped you communicate with your wife or your spouse? So Tim's going to kind of answer this first, and then we can, communication.
I'm super lucky to go first on this one. This is fantastic.
Yes.
Well,
Right.
in the early years when I had a set schedule, as we know, after the times we live in now, you can do a lot of things from home. You can do things in different seasons, and so I would come home typically around 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We would go out by the pool, and we would have cheese and crackers and maybe a glass of water, something to drink, and we would just sit on the back porch and have about 30 minutes to download and process. And the kids weren't invited to this. And then after that, we were able to then kind of get ready for the evening. So it was an awesome time, really, to kind of really let me talk and get everything off of my chest. And then I was also able to find out what went on with Diane for the day as well. So
That's very true.
That's good.
That was a great
debrief.
Yeah,
the debrief. Yes.
The debrief.
Yes. And honoring that. That's another thing we're talking about, like modeling for kids is what that looks like. We definitely had to do a similar thing for some intentionality of just like, don't attack dad right as he walks in the door.
Bombard him with things. Yeah.
One of the things when we were talking about this question, do you remember what you said about communicating with your wife?
Well, yeah, the timing of it sometimes. If I'm really tired or hungry or something, or I don't know, hangry. I'm
with
not
you
the
already.
best.
I can tell where you're going.
It's not the best time for me because I kind of clam up. I don't really talk very much until I can resolve that.
Yes.
And Leigh Ann really wants to talk the most at that time.
Yes.
It's not a great combination. So, I mean, it's like, I think what we had to do.
I feel like this conversation is like with you and me. It's just you and I right now.
I think so. Yeah.
That means we invited the right guest to this. Sorry.
Yeah, I just feel like it's just the timing may not be right. If it's 11 o'clock at night and, you're about to, or if you're coming in from work and you've been, fussed at by a client or a vendor or something like that. And then here comes, hey, I need to talk about this really intense issue, and just say
It's hard.
it is hard to do that. But at the same time, on the other side, you just want to confirm that it's important to them, that you do want to take the
That's a good
time,
point.
maybe put it on the calendar. Let's have a date. Hey, let's go sit by the pool, go get some iced coffee, hazelnut preferably.
Well,
and talk it out,
I'm 100% with you because if Diane realizes now, don't ask me real questions after 9 p.m.
Yeah.
She loves staying up late. For me, I'm ready to go at 5 a.m. And so if she wakes up, I'm ready to conquer the world. That's probably not the time for me to ask her questions.
Definitely not before coffee.
How do you resolve that? That's a great point. And Dan's point about finding timing that works for both people. What is y'all's time? 4 p.m.
Yeah, I think you just have to communicate. Is this a good time? And be honest with that. And that doesn't matter if you've been married for one day or 50 years.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
I would definitely agree with that. And I will actually say to Tim, there's days when he'll be like coming at me with about 10 things by 7 a.m. And I'm like, pause. I really need you to give me a few more minutes, probably like an hour to really wake up.
It's way past 5, Diane. 5 a.m. is when I want things.
And I love that enthusiasm. And so I think when you are communicating with your spouse, you don't want to squash that enthusiasm that they have because you are their person. You are the person they want to share those details with. And so whether it's a morning thing or a night thing, you want to make sure that you don't squash that enthusiasm because that's what's the gift of marriage is. But timing, I think, is everything.
Yes.
And it does sometimes, you do have to read your spouse and know what's good. I mean, there's definitely plenty of times that, even sometimes even on the phone, one of us will say, is this a good time to tell you something? Because they may be just in the middle of something, or I may have just gotten off a phone call and it's not a good time. So
I do that, Dan.
Yeah.
I do call. And
I think we're experts now, but it took over 25 years to get there.
Well, and I think
eventually.
I think one of the things that you hear the most, the four of us and our friends and small group have done a lot of Bible studies and marriage studies and things like that. And one of the big dangers they always alert is the shutdown and not talking, as just it's worse than fighting. Honestly, fighting is not as bad as not communicating and under communicating. So to be able to say this is the priority, it's going to be worth it. We just need to block some time for that.
Yeah.
And
So blow it off and pretend like
right.
I don't want to talk about it ever.
Which I think in
It's
early marriage for us, I'm not putting this, there's some really super mature newlyweds out there, I know. But for us, we were like, that hurt my feelings was like the go-to rather than, hey, what was the point here? The point was I need to talk to you about my stuff because you're the person I want to talk to.
Very
so
true.
It's out of a place of love and trust. So yeah, very good. All right, I have one.
Yep.
Speaking of communication, how do we handle fights or a season of conflict? Like what was the way to resolve that? We hear a lot about the verse, don't let the sun go down on your anger, which has been interpreted to be like, don't go to bed mad.
Yeah.
There's a comedian she's been married a long time, and she's joking about like, how did your marriage survive? We went to bed mad a few times. Like you just still wake up the next morning and you're still married and you love each other and you keep pushing on.
Well, I'm super excited to answer this one right off the bat.
Go.
Our pillow fights are absolutely fantastic. Like we just go at it. I'm kidding. We don't, but that would be a good idea.
That's a different kind of fight.
But
settles the whole thing.
But the truth is, we do not go to bed angry with each other, and it might resolve in going to bed at 1 or 2 a.m. in the morning.
Which is not your favorite thing.
It's not your favorite thing.
But you love your wife.
Yes.
So you'll stay up late.
But it is also recognizing, and maybe not everyone has this gift, but I do believe that I have been blessed with the gift of realizing when I've made a mistake and just owning up to it. Mm-hmm. And for everyone that's listening, it's just very, very difficult when you want it your way. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to cave in because each of you want it your way. Mm-hmm. And at some point, you've got to compromise.
That's right.
And so some of the best times, though, is when you say, hey, I would like to do it this way, but I'll do it your way.
Right.
That's fine.
Right.
And it's not easy to do that.
Yeah.
And it is very difficult to get to that point. But once you do, everything is released.
True. I agree.
There was
Definitely.
one of the quotes that I was going to share from my parents was one time when my mom was like, she knew she was right in a fight that they were having. And she was just kind of crying out to God, like, are you going to change his mind? Like praying, like, are you going to fix this and show him that I'm right? And the Lord just really convicted her that she needed to give up her right to be right. Mm-hmm. That you can be absolutely right and not in right relationship. Mm. And so winning is you're on the same team. There's no winning against each other.
Recognizing you are on the same team.
Right. Yeah. Right.
And I say this to Diane all the time is we're on the same team and we make a good team.
Mm-hmm. Aw, you do. They're precious. I do think honoring that it's us against this situation versus us not against each other. So I love that so much. Did you have a conflict resolution? I know we're kind of jumping.
The conflict resolution.
I think that was your communication thing was kind of what you were talking about.
One of the things for me is that I think we heard about this during a marriage seminar or something that we had gone to, but talking about 1 Corinthians 13, 4-8, and how a lot of times when you might be not thinking the best things about your spouse, if you take that's very much the marriage verse that you hear a lot of people speak about. And so you insert your spouse's name instead of love is patient, love is kind, you would put your spouse's name in there. So it would be Tim is patient, Tim is kind, Tim does not envy, Tim does not boast, Tim is not proud. And so you continue doing that through the whole thing. But when it comes to conflict, it says in the verse, it says it keeps no record of wrongs. And I think that's a really big point that we have to say, that in a marriage, you should not be a scorekeeper. You should not be saying, this is what I've done, this is what you've done, this is who said this, who said that. And we keep no record of wrongs. And so sometimes I will say that when we've had those conflicts or things, I do go back to that verse and I do think about that. And I do know that God created you, and I know that He created you in His image, and that your intentionality towards me is always in love.
So true.
Thank you. That sounded so nice.
And I was going to say too, apart from like, we're not ignoring the fact, and we always do this when we talk about marriage on any level, is we're not ignoring the fact that some people are in dangerous situations or, those really terrible situations in marriage that is more complex. What we're addressing is that run-of-the-mill, day in, day out, couples that love each other, that love their homes, love their families, want God's best, and they call it goodwill in marriage, right? Yeah. But we can get stuck going off on these tangents on things. But the reason we wanted to have you guys here is to kind of address the long view of marriage, right? Mm-hmm. The long-term perspective. And I just right here just wanted to give you the chance to say you're glad you married me.
I am so glad. And, I always said, baby, you're Proverbs 31 all the way. Except, well, the only thing is you don't supply the merchants with sashes.
the merchants,
maybe
yes.
work on that.
Some of the merchants, yes.
Great.
So,
no, I am very glad. And I just love the way that, you just kind of, you just baby marriage and, just fighting about dumb stuff and not really resolving it good. And then, over time, it just gets better and better. And it's a good thing. Yeah.
Right. And they are speaking from the new season they're in of empty nesting. And so this is a new season, and we're going to learn a lot of great things. And Leigh Ann, I'm sure, is going to, yes, is going to share a lot of fun things coming up on an episode.
When the kids call us or text, we're like, oh my gosh, look who called us.
Yes.
We're so honored.
Yes.
Yeah.
That doesn't change. I mean, I love it. I love it. As they get older, you love that.
So good.
Yep.
The best thing we did.
So really, Romans 8:28 just summarizes, in such a good way what we do want marriage to be like. We do want to be able to understand that in our marriage, we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. And I think what better way is to have you guys on today. We've added you into the mix and just enjoyed having this time together. And we hope you guys have as well, listening. And if you have any questions or comments or thoughts, send them our way. You can message us and we'll be glad to address those. We're actually going to do a listener question episode coming up. Yes. So if there's things on your heart, and definitely let us know. Yeah, you can add them.
For Dan and Tim.
If any husbands out there would like to talk, Dan is fully available, and so
yes,
myself as well.
Yeah.
It's so good and so good.
And we were celebrating good marriage.
So good.
Here on Well Grounded
podcast. And so as we end today, be refreshed,
be encouraged,
and stay
well grounded.